Let's get back. That's the brake. Yeah, I'm on. Right there. We'll do it now. Grab the brakes or no? No, it's not the brakes. Alright, grab the brakes now. Or go back some more. Go slow load. How you looking over there? Alright guys, as you can tell by the title and thumbnail of this video and the location of what we got going on right now, we're up at TKM Performance up here on their awesome hub dyno with the Silverback ZO6. You've been hearing us talk a lot about the Black Sheep engine. You guys are familiar with this engine combination. It's the first time we have this combination in something other than a race car, and it should be pretty sweet, and we're going to shake it down on the hub dyno. So that's what we got going on, and just getting unloaded here. Pretty simple. We got some methanol. Oh, we forgot the 12-volt battery charger. That was the other thing we needed. And then I think other than that, we are good to go. So we're just going to push back. We're going to put it up on the hubs, and everything should go swell, hopefully. Nothing too crazy horsepower wise. Remember in the last video I said everyone comment down below what you guys think it's going to make horsepower wise, and we'll do a giveaway. So you guys are going to have to stick around and see what it makes horsepower wise and how it goes. So that's what we got going on here. This build is a lot, very extensive, in-depth build. Ben did a great job putting it together, and we're excited to see what it makes. Excited to take it to the track in the near future and make some laps. So, and drive it around, because it's a street car. That's what you do. All right, y'all, we got the Silverback on the dyno. Hey, you want to give a shout out to Vet Lights for their awesome non-sponsorship? I'm always on them. I don't know why. They make badass headlights. They are high dollar, but hey, it transformed the look of the car. So we're out here rocking Vet Lights on the hub dyno. We got the Black Sheep TKM motor in there. How are we feeling? How are we feeling today? Feeling good? Feeling good. Look at you. You're rocking your No Time Pro Tree shirt. Ben's rocking a dark shirt. You got Kevin in the car tuning. You know what you're doing in there? I'm a tuner now, so if you need anything, feel free to ask. So everything should be good. We talked about it in the last video, Ben. Before you take the car to the dyno, you got to start it, you got to run it, you got to test it out. We've had this thing cranked up a number of times. You've been over it with a fine-tooth comb. This is like the real test to see, because obviously we didn't run anything hard. Right. So we use this as a good time to make sure everything's running good. Obviously to work on the tune-up a little bit, but we'll kind of get a feel of how everything's working. You know, if we got any fuel leaks, you know, got any boost leaks, anything like that. And with you, I don't expect any. And if there are, you can blame it on me, because I distract you all the time.
Everybody needs a good, close enough fuel map. They can do a wastegate burnout for a few before they take any car to the dyno.
So there's the tip of the day.
Wastegate burnout.
Wastegate burnouts. Figure
close enough fuel map or tone.
Figure it out before you take it to the dyno, and then you kind of have a good practice run. So everything on this is pretty much self-contained, unlike the race car. We're gonna vacuum the valve covers, and I mean it's a street car.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna make some pulls on it and see where do you think we'll lie boost-wise. What do you think a good ending number of boost would be?
25 pounds.
25 pounds is a lot. So if this thing makes 25 pounds, it should be pretty happy. And now, do you think 25 pounds on a twin turbo setup will make more than 25 pounds on a single turbo setup? This is the question of the internet.
So it depends.
Depends on airflow.
Yeah.
On what's more efficient.
What do you mean?
Like it depends on like if the twin turbos are more efficient than the single turbo.
Yeah.
Now, what's your turbo of choice? Twin or single?
depends on the car, like what you're trying to do with it.
Do you think this one's gonna be happy on the twins?
Yeah. Yeah, I think these are sized the right way for still being fun.
Yeah. They're super responsive.
If you had twin T6 like 80s, it wouldn't be nearly as responsive, but it would be.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now here's my last question, and then I'll quit bugging you. How long till we have a car that's got twin 98s on it?
Something like that.
Soon, possibly soon. Hey, I said how long till we have a car that's got twin 98s on it?
There's a 12-volt charger underneath there right there.
Oh, so we're good. We're good. All right, how are you feeling? I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked Ben. Where do you think it'll lie and be happy boost-wise? What number of how many pounds of boost do you think you'd be happy with?
28.
Oh, God! Ben said 25. All right.
He said happy.
You want to see it make 28 pounds? We know it can make well more than 28 pounds,
No, I mean,
but I think that'd be a good stopping number.
yeah. Honestly, probably 25 pounds would be good.
Now, do you want to make, since I got you here, you want to make any public statements about any hair color changes? Hey, this motor is known to make ridiculous power numbers on a low boost. It's a little bit higher in compression than what most people run, I would say, wouldn't you? Yeah, and it's super snappy with those cylinder heads on there. It seems to be a pretty happy combination, so I'm excited to see what it'll do. All right, just getting a little bit of charge on the battery here. We got a pretty small battery. Chris, talk to us about the battery on this thing. You went with a little bit smaller battery than normal. We normally run the XS batteries.
Right. Save a little weight. Streetcar life.
I can't. Out of all the cars, put a tiny battery in.
Yeah, but it's got an alternator, a good alternator.
It does have an alternator. So I don't think we really charged the battery up all the way, but you guys will be shocked with the size of it. It's on a 12-volt system. So unlike our race cars, which are 16 volt, this is still 12 volt. But look at how tiny that guy is. There, yeah, I mean, there's a hand for reference.
It weighs 4 pounds.
But once it's fired up and the car runs, now a lot of times when we're doing this tuning, we have just accessory power on, so it does drain the battery.
Well, we got a lot of accessories. We got the DVD player, those headlights, tail light, everything comes on this car.
Heated seats.
Heated seats.
All right, so we're gonna fire it up here, and I think we have to reset the fuel pressure. We messed with the fuel pressure when we were running the saddle tanks to fill the surge tank, but we're just gonna, for today's purposes, we're gonna go solely off the surge tank here. So hopefully we got enough juice in here to fire it up. how do you are you pleased with the sound of the this motor in here? It sounds good, doesn't it? It's gonna be tough to get a race, so we want to thank you for that in advance. But how's it feel? Everything like working as it should? Is it weird sitting in like a stock seat and factory gauges? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Well, we're getting ready to make a couple wastegate pulls here in a minute. Kevin's gonna drive it around a little bit and just run it through the gears and stuff like that, and then get rolling with it. Then we'll get in some pulls. Got to disconnect the trans brake, fill it up with fuel again, and get ready to rock. Holy shit! That thing is wild. Just cruising around, rolling. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, what do you gotta say? Damn it. Boy. What was that RPM wise? It was rowdy out here. You were like just cruising.
4,300.
God dang. God. I don't want no smoke. No more. I'm done. That's too much.
I know why you're leaving the pumps out the cow now.
I'm not putting them back in. The handy cow. The handy cow.
Yeah.
God. It's tough to mess with that. You know who's freaking out right now? Silver Surfer.
Woo.
He's done. He's gonna retire. He's gonna retire. He can say we ain't running no more. Aaron's out there. I know he's freaking out.
Aaron's a good dude. He's close enough on.
Aaron is a good dude. But that doesn't mean we're gonna stop talking smack. Hey, when we run Aaron, it's gonna be the battle of the New Balances.
We haven't spooled it or done anything since then. Literally just sitting in there.
God, that thing sounds. Oh, wait till that sound's coming out the tail. That sounds rowdier than the Black Sheep.
No. Maybe.
It does.
A little bit more compression.
A little bit more compression. You're cheating. All right, still just cruising around on it here. Going to spool it up a couple times. Still got the trans brake hooked up. When he makes a pull on the dyno, we unhook the trans brake and we still use the button for two-step, but for spooling purposes, we're gonna leave it hooked up, get it up on the chip a couple times. And Sammy, what's up? Your hard work here. Yeah, I hear you. This thing's got a hellacious sound to it. Yeah, is that the one? When you guys sell a cam kit, does it come with like a rubber mallet? Then you know. Then you know. This thing's rowdy, dude. This thing's rowdy. I hope the camera can pick up how awesome it sounds, because I
think since you got rid of the little fuzz up here,
it might, maybe, or no. I don't know. I need to get like a boom mic. Like I need to have Logan walk around with the sound guy. Where's Logan?
Sound guy. Did you pass out again?
10? That ought to be healthy. It's got two gates though. We're used to one. So it's ought to make some steam. We have yet to test out the head gaskets. We haven't even given them a workout yet.
I'm not doing that.
That is a bad son of a bitch, ain't it? God, how loud is that torque tube? You hear that thing rattling? Everyone thinks the motor's falling out of it. That thing is stout.
You had Logan standing up under there beating it with a hammer.
Does it not sound just like the Black Sheep, but stuffed in a Corvette?
Does the exhaust turn down on the ground or something?
Yeah, so we just got turn downs on it right now. We have it set up like, we just got to swap out the V-bands to go out the back. But right now, just, it's beating the ground.
Yeah, it's got like a real, like a thud.
It's hitting. Never...
Because it sounds like it's bouncing right off.
Never getting a race in this thing. Never.
I'll run it.
What are you doing with your race car up on the lift?
256 Magnum motor.
You put it in there?
Yeah, I'll send the clutch out.
I heard you're going to a bigger blower. Bam.
Do you want that?
You got to stay in front around here. Everyone's got these fast Mustangs around here.
It's only a street car. It's got air conditioned seats in it.
Oh, is that right? Hey, heated seats.
That's my steel.
Heated seats?
Air conditioning.
AC seats? All right. You ain't got a street car. You got to have AC seats. Per Sammy.
Yeah.
We all work on it. We'll take it up.
Just drill you a couple holes in the bottom, get the air come up there, you're done.
Gets up on the chip. I tell you what, Bo. I tell you what. All right, that last spool up was on wastegate. Got the boost controller on now. It is strong. So we're testing a couple different numbers so we have an idea where to start at for a launch boost when we do take it to the track, make sure everything is good, the fuel and everything. So just running it through the two-step couple times, and we're gonna unhook the trans brake and we'll make a couple full rips on this son of a gun here. All right, so one last rip here on the two-step. All right, we're gonna make our first rip here. How you feeling?
Good.
First rip here, how you feeling?
Good.
Are we confident that the trans brake will not work? was that? That was strong like bull, wasn't it? God, just a smooth little 1,000. Little 1,000 right there. Just big toe. Damn. Yeah, I tell you what, Chris, that's a tight ass converter. That is definitely a tight converter. All right, we're over here reviewing the log. Kevin, fuel, right on point.
It's good so far.
Fuel's good. We are, if you guys heard in the pull, it kind of got lazy at the gear shift.
Yeah, the converter's a bit tight here. Of course, we're gonna put power in it. I think it'll come around, but this car needs rear gear and it needs more power.
So we got two things working against us. We used the same converter as before. The car before was super lazy, like second gear out the back. It just ran slow through the middle, and we never really had the proper converter spec for it. We tried to get this one using what we had as best as we could. It's doing the same thing it did before.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll come around a little bit when we get more power in it, but right now it's just too tight.
And that coupled with a really long gear is not really a happy. I mean, we might be good around the quarter mile.
Quarter mile might be alright,
but
not the 8 mile.
Yeah, so I guess more power can overcome this. So like the green line here is RPM. So you see it shifts, drops. What do you like to see an RPM drop at a shift?
800 or so.
We're
depending upon the car.
Okay, so 1,200, a little bit on the steep side, and then it doesn't come back.
Right.
So that's your telltale sign that we're in no man's land right here. You're getting drove around out there. Yeah.
We'll fix it.
More power. More power. That's all we could do.
That's it.
So the last pull, 20 pounds, made some pretty good power. We're at 1,200, so we're just getting into it with this setup. And like I said, now you think that right there will affect horsepower numbers with that gear ratio and everything, kind of lugging it?
To a certain degree, yeah, because it's got a lug, but it's not really accelerating.
It's not really like going through. It's just kind of sitting there.
We'll see. We'll put a little more on and see how it goes.
I like the sound of that. All right, a little bit more power, a little bit more boost. Kevin's got the fuel like spot on. I think it's like it had 1% correction on that last one, so absolutely awesome there. Literally 2 pulls and it's dialed in. Alright, that last pull we had our dome pressure sensors not give up on us, but obviously something went on with the MAC valves there and it dumped dome pressures. That's why the run seemed like it was aborted early, but actually Kevin stayed wide open. Ben and I went over, checked for any boost leaks, checked everything like that. We clocked one of the compressor covers a little bit differently. The way that this harness is wired up, we're doing that piggyback system. The injectors are actually running up through the factory fuse panel and it keeps popping the relay for it. So we're going to go back and we're going to wire the injectors directly to the computer. So unfortunately, we weren't able to turn it up a lot today, but we will be back on the hub dyno here soon with everything running and firing the way it should and being able to hold. As we go up in power, we just keep popping the fuse. So we're going to get it figured out. And you'll see more of this car and you're gonna see some big power coming from it here shortly. Alright, y'all, just want to shed some light on what we got going on here. I know in the comment section, everyone always points a finger to like who's wrong, you're wrong, and there's really no one wrong here. What happened was we are on the CR Racing kind of like dual integration harness where we're running the stock ECU and the HOLLEY together. The HOLLEY runs the engine management side. The stock ECU is still there so you can pass inspection. Your OBD2 still, like, you can plug up to it and it'll still like read so you can pass inspection, stuff like that. So when we got it set up, when we got the harness built, I literally took the C6 harness to Chris, one of my good buddies, and he went through everything and was building the harness, and it was set up to run on a Bosch 210 or ID2000 and run on E85. Since then, we've obviously made the switch to a billet atomizer, and the power demand of that injector is much greater than a Bosch 210 or ID2000. And the way the harness is run, it's running a lot of things through that factory fuse panel to keep everything running in like that stock orientation, and we're essentially just overpowering the fuse. We keep popping the fuse, so it's no big deal. We just got to switch the wiring. We got to run the wiring with like a big wire kit, just have a little bit beefier, and we're going to run the injectors away from the factory fuse panel and run it directly to the injectors and have the HOLLEY do all that. So the car is working great. Other than that, one minor change. This is why you take to the hub dyno. If we were at the track, this would have been a nightmare. We would have been like, man, we got cylinders going out and all this stuff. Hub dyno was well worth it again. All right, I just wanted to shed some light on that topic. We're going to get the wiring corrected the way that the injectors require it, and we're gonna get back up to the hub dyno before we take it to the track, make sure everything goes well. And really, you guys need to, if you guys have a new car, new build, any new changes, I recommend calling up TKM, getting on the hub dyno. There's no better practice for the vehicle and what it's about to do. If anything goes wrong on the hub dyno, really it's not that bad than if it goes wrong at the track. So I highly recommend checking out the guys at TKM Performance. Kevin has got a bunch of engine packages coming out very soon, not to mention a bunch of TKM Performance in-house products coming out. So be on the lookout. TKM Performance is making some huge strides and really changing the game here. So be up with them, and thank you guys so much for watching. If this was kind of let down to you guys, I know I can't pick a winner right now because I got to go back through the comments of the other ones, but coming up, I will pick the winner for, I know it's low, everyone was saying like 1,700. It'll make 1,700 once we get it back there, but we just got to get it right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you guys for checking out every video. I really do appreciate it. It means the world, and we're on the hunt for 200,000, so let's get it.